So a year ago, my dad passed away. It changed my whole life.
Yeah.
But my dad made sure that we never needed anything as a kid. But my dad was in law enforcement. So he was very rough, right? So at times I didn't think my dad loved me because he couldn't say I loved you. He was a provider. But when my dad passed, everything was in order. Like we will have money for the rest of our lives. My mother never paid a bill when she was with my father. She never has to pay a bill. She can live her life that she had with him for the rest of her life. And she doesn't have to worry about anything. And what that did for me made me realize, one, I wasn't this way because of Wall Street. This was in my DNA. And it also made me realize that if my dad could do it, he had a government job. He wasn't making millions of dollars. He wasn't investing and doing all these things. If he can do that and make sure we were good while we were living, while make sure we were good in his passing and have generational wealth for the rest of our life, you can't tell me that the everyday person can't do it. So I think when that happened, it all came full circle and made me realize that my father loved me the best way he knew how to, but his entire being was to make sure that we were set, and that's who he was as a man. And it's like, if my dad can do that, a black man raised in the 60s, then you can't tell me that nobody in this world can do it if my dad could do it.
But what I know is I'm feeling just fine. My life is like a red carpet, and I'm feeling like the richest millionaire. This is my local mayor, and I'm the biggest star around here. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw the clip. So just a father's burden, a father's love, and a child's pestilence. Well, because I'm gonna say these things. First and foremost, I don't know what it is, but it's a thing. Like kids, boys, sons and daughters have this thing where daddy don't love me because he don't do it the way mommy does it. That's basically what it is. He was hard on me, so I didn't think he loved me because he didn't say it because mommy said she loved me. That doesn't, love is an action, right? So, but kids don't get that, and I can understand that. They have to grow to get that. But the other thing is this. I seen my mother, he worked in law enforcement. He had a rough life. You were in a bubble. You didn't see the things he saw. You didn't experience the things he experienced. You have no idea what he had to deal with. And I got to talk about this. There's a lot of privileged kids out here who have a warped idea of what their father is. The other thing, my mother never worked. She never paid a bill. Okay, congratulations. So he was married, two-parent household, blah, blah, blah. And after he died, she didn't have to pay a bill. She kept up her lifestyle, which I just wanted to let y'all know something. There's nothing wrong with providing, but there's something wrong with entitlement and selfishness. And what you're saying teeters of what you grasped from it that partially was selfishness and entitlement. I'm gonna get with somebody who makes sure I don't have to do nothing. And while I'm not doing nothing per se, it's not nothing, but but at the end of the day, my kids could love me and they could be at odds with him. And she's like, my mom still doesn't work. Cool, whatever. But then to say he just worked, he didn't invest. But you went to Wall Street. So you trying to tell me you didn't know that pension is an investment? It's like a 401k. Like it goes into account. There's a pension, there's what you work for. There's your pension, and basically there's a separate account. Like you don't realize that part he was investing, all the work he was doing was investing, not just his time, but his money also. So he was going to work to make sure you were straight. He was doing the right thing. And then for you ladies out here who think it's not good enough, it came for his death for the realization that, oh wow, we can, if he don't need to be a millionaire, he could just work a good job and we'll be straight. Yeah.
But then the arrogance of this is, you know what, this is in my DNA. No, the fuck it's not. Because if it was in your DNA, you would have figured it out a long time ago what he was doing. He had to die for you to figure out what he was doing. He sacrificed and in death provided for you more. And you think, oh, I could just walk on Wall Street. It's in my DNA. This is not a superpower, man. It's not like something bad. You're not a mutant, man. Like, I got this power from my daddy. Like, no. Because the question is, when it comes to you having a family, are you going to make these same sacrifices for your family? See, that's when you see if you got that or not. Not if you can go to Wall Street. But if you can make those sacrifices and plan ahead for your family, because what he was doing was making sure you were straight even after he was gone. And unfortunately, and I've seen this before, and I hate to say this, you know, because it's not just a daughter's thing, but I've seen more daughters than sons. Y'all, some of y'all daughters, man, y'all don't necessarily blow the money, but what y'all do is y'all just go, well, I'm gonna upgrade my life and then present myself as some high class something because my daddy died and I inherited this and this is how we live. And it's like, oh, here we go. So you're using his inheritance as a facade, and it's sad. And I gotta say this. Excuse me, but a lot of y'all don't love him until after he gone, and then y'all start getting checks. Then you go, he was a really good guy. The bank account says he was pretty great. And you love the provision after his death more than you loved him in his life. But y'all don't see nothing wrong with that. And truth be told, sometimes mama can't move on because she's scared that she finna get scammed because he did such a good job. I don't feel like getting scammed. Like, I'm not finna meet a guy and he come stay here and live off of me. And live off of you mean live off of him, which is admirable. But we gotta fast forward a little bit also. Because what she said is what I had been saying for years. I don't know if this woman has kids or not. Hopefully she will one day, whatever. But if she gets married and have kids, the kids gonna think that's grandmama's house. And she might not even correct it, and grandma probably ain't gonna correct it because that's all they're gonna know. They're gonna assume that, you know, we're going to grandma's house, and granddad was nowhere to be around because he passed away. So that also repeats the cycle, but that's a father sacrifice. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, know I gave you everything I had.